You ever wonder why sometimes your goal comes to fruition and sometimes ain't nothing going your way? Well, I'm going to explain that to a T today and how to get your goals, not just in action, but your goals squared, your goals compounding. Like, first we deal with subtraction and addition, and then we get to multiplication, and then we go to compounding. Did you know that Einstein said that the power of compounding was like the seventh greatest wonder of the world, eighth greatest wonder of the world, infinity? Like, wow, is it amazing how powerful compounding is? I'm sure y'all know a penny a day doubled for 31 days is worth way more than $1 million. It's 10.7 million. And that's what happens not just with a penny or money, it happens with everything in life. Once we get the ball rolling with momentum, we start squaring everything, meaning we start doubling and getting the compounding action of the principle of interest. Things start accumulating at such a rapid rate that all of a sudden we got more love than we know what to do with, more health than we know what to do with, more wealth than we know what to do with. We have abundance like Christ. This is the Christ consciousness way of getting to your goals, the godly way of getting to your goals. First is subtraction. If you don't have a pen and pad, pause the video, go get a pen and pad, because this is beyond worth taking notes, and it's gonna be so deep. This is not no superficial, shallow pond that we're diving into. This is oceans of wisdom that we are gonna open and reveal today. The true, my key on me, the true Joy Master key. So first, we go with subtraction. First, we recognize. Now, if I spell anything wrong, throw it in the comments. Teach me how to spell, because this is not just about spelling words, it's about creating spells in our life to change the way we live and to love our lives in such a high level it's unimaginable in your current state. Thank you so much for being here. You know who I am. If not, my name's below. Let's get right to this. This is going to teach you how to get to your goals and why you haven't gotten them, and sometimes why you got to your goals and you don't even know why or how you did it. First is recognizing if something is a negative in your life or a positive in your life. If it is not helping you get to your goal, get rid of it. And this includes a thought, a word, an action, or a friend, or a situation, or an environment that is not helping you get to your goal, or a substance, drinking and smoking and eating things. If you recognize it's not helping you get to your goal, get rid of it. The thing is most of the time, after doing so much research on addiction and creating habits, because habits create health, doing so much research on this in psychology, the psychology of health, I've realized more and more it's not really just the tactics and strategies that get us to where we'd like to go. It's also the psychology of addiction. And for most addictions, we could recognize it, but what most people don't realize is we got to replace it. It's unlikely you're just gonna like give up coffee. First you trade it for tea, and then in infusion like herbal tea, you start with green tea, then herbal tea, and you get something to like have this fixation. Like a lot of people have a lollipop after they start smoking. But we got to keep on replacing, because you don't want to have lollipops your whole life, right? And it's about getting to a place where you have such a great transmutation of your habit that it's all about rejoice. Okay? So first you recognize what is hurting you, then you replace it, and then you really recognize again how much better you are and how much better you're becoming doing this, and then rejoice. This is an important principle. I call it the penguin principle, to rejoice. Why is it the penguin principle, Keith? Great question. because penguins, like, they do everything. So do a lot of other animals when they're trained. Pigeons, whales will jump out of the water. How do we get them to do that? If you watch how we do that, it's not just feeding, like with a dog. If you watch Cesar Millan, right, the dog whisperer, he's not just feeding, he's giving them love and attention. And that doesn't always mean a physical kiss and hug. Love and attention is a concentration of energy. That's really worth writing down. Love and attention is a concentration of energy. And where attention goes, energy grows. Everything flows. Everything increases. Some people say where attention goes, money flows. Where attention goes, health flows. Everything starts to flow because attention is like our greatest currency. Thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate it so much. Attention is an aspect of appreciation. Attention is really one of the greatest aspects of being intentional. Remember, if it's not getting you towards your goal, which is to me what being intentional is getting you closer to your goal, your dream life, your purpose, your mission in life. Because they're all stepping stones. First is your goal, and then is your dream life, and then is your mission and purpose in life. The goal is just getting you closer to that. So once you get to that point and realize what is your goal, then the only thing you give your intention to or attention to is the intention of getting closer to your goal. And anything that is not intentional is literally you being in detention. You're confined in a box you don't want to be in, just like in school, you're in detention. Be intentional, get towards your goals instead of living someone else's goals, like watching them on TV or paying for their stuff. Be intentional. Like, that's okay to, watch TV when there's a time and a place, or invest your money or spend it. There's a time and a place, yet if you're on the struggle bus, not liking life, then figure out what your goal is. Recognize what your goal is. Replace the things that are not serving you, and then rejoice, right? Start adding in the things. This is really for the addition also, right? Is to replace the negative with a positive, and then really the ultimate is to rejoice. That penguin principle. Because these animals learn by getting rewarded, and so much of the time we're looking for what someone did that's wrong, the red light. Oh, you did that wrong, whether it's a child or an employee or a friend or a lover, waiting for them to do something wrong. How about the green light, and we wait for them to do something amazing and encourage them instead of discouraging all the time. Say, wow, you did great. That is awesome. Thank you. Like, you did something that is wonderful. Give them attention. And that's the penguin principle, is to really give them attention for something that they're doing that is so phenomenal, right? Giving them love and attention for the direction that they're going into that you really love. All right, these are big points right here. And now we're talking about how to really get to your goals the godly way, the Christ consciousness way, godly goals. There's one language, and Christ talked about it all the time. So do just about every religion, right? Or spirituality. This is the true spirituality of things, right? Spirit. This is a spiritual language. Spiritual language. Or should I say communication? I'm going to write commune for short, and I do that purposely, not just to write a shorter word and hopefully not misspell it, that's part of it, but communication, the root word is commune, because we come together and we make ourselves one. Communicate is not just to talk at someone. Like I love to talk about like religion, politics, and what all the things you're not supposed to talk about. I love talking about them as long as it's a two-way conversation where we're communicating. It's not one person just yelling at me, telling me their political views and why everything is wrong or right. It's about having that communication, and it's an art form. We all slip up on it sometimes, I'm pretty sure. Sometimes we talk so much we don't have like that reciprocity, right? That harmony of one person speaking, the other, the pendulum is going back and forth. The principle of polarity. Like there is not really a good or a bad, as who said it? I think it was Shakespeare. Nothing is good or bad. It's thinking that makes it so, right? Good or bad, love or hate, dislike or like. There's no certain point, and you could tell this with hot and cold. There's not a point on a thermometer where it says cold or hot. That is based on our perception. And perception is the number one level of learning. I like to say it's perception, right? Belief. Belief heal, belief kill. Perception, belief, perceive, believe, and expectation. Okay? Now, I'm going to add a word to expectation, an emotional expectation, or an emotionally charged expectation. That is essential when you're speaking in a spiritual language. And another word for that is feel. Feeling, right? When we're born with a heart, and then we get a brain, then they're connected. I'm getting excited here. And then, no, please. And then we get, our heart and our brain gets connected with a spinal cord. We start to feel. We have all these nerves connecting the two. And according to the Heart Math Institute, our heart gives more information to our brain than our brain gives to our heart. Ain't that something? Thought. All right. Now, these are all spiritual languages of communication. They are also, put that as the green, they are also the cause of what you say, of everything, right? They are the cause of our actions. Action is the effect. Effects or material. Action including our health, right? If we are sick or healthy, if we are overweight or super fit and trim, if we are tired or we're energetic, right? And like I'm thinking about like the energy, this is all energy for sure. But the way most of us talk about energy as like being able to move about and lift heavy weights or do a job, like our wealth status, right? How we're able to work. This is all the material effect of the spiritual cause. Our belief causes an action, right? And like words, it's interesting because I'd pretty much put words under this one here, right? But words are pretty material. Like words are pretty much an effect of our belief, our perception, our emotional expectation, our feelings, and really a thought turns into a word. So I'll put it on both. But words create our world. That's why I'm kind of keeping it on the cause, or that's why I'm keeping it on both sides. Because a word is so powerful. A sincere word. A thought, when it's, first we start out with the belief and the perception and the emotional expectation. And that creates a feeling. Your thoughts create feelings. Your emotional expectation creates a feeling. We control these things. These are in your control. Control. Okay? You control these things. Right? This is what you control. The cause. And we could also put in material environment. Right? And your social life, right? Social. Right? Different people that are around, or your influence. Influence. Now, we somewhat have control of everything over here, but a lot of the things on the material end, we don't really have 100% control. Like, remember how I mentioned that there's a principle of polarity? There's also a principle that goes along with that called the principle, the Kabbalion calls it the principle of rhythm. I like to call it the principle of the pendulum principle, like a pendulum. So it goes back and forth. We have good, we have bad, we have love, we have hate, we have health, we have sickness, we have wealth, we have poverty, we have prosperity, we have poverty. All these things are going back and forth. That's the natural ebb and flow. Matter of fact, all of our emotions go back and forth also. So we do have control over them to an extent. Like it is necessary to have a bad so that we could see the good. If we always had light, we wouldn't really know it's light. We need dark to understand its light. We need the absence of something to understand its greatness. Like separation has the heart grow fonder, right? If you're always with your partner, your loved one, it's going to become overwhelming. You don't even realize how much you love them anymore because you're always with them. You start taking things for granted. That's why when we have feelings and thoughts that are like negative, don't resist them, embrace them. Enjoy them, love them, because that is what gets you to feel that ecstatic, euphoric bliss that we call life, love, gratitude. And when we start to tap into all of these emotions of gratitude, of thanksgiving, of grace, grace is also giving yourself grace, we say it, when you are awaiting something great to happen. Because time is a godly platform. The earth is where it happens, but time is the flowering of the greatness. When we plant the seed, we don't expect it to all of a sudden be a tree the next day. If it's an apple seed, we know it's going to take 8 to 10 years. We know it needs a certain condition, like you can't grow apple trees in the tropics, really. Unless it's a different variety of apples that's not really a true apple. An apple needs 300 hours of frost. We know that there are certain material guidelines to creating the spiritual awakening, the spiritual fructification, right? The blossoming, the growth. We understand that to like train our muscle, we have to create resistance. We have to create some stress for that muscle. And I could go on about that, yet I would like you to really understand, to really get any goal, those tactics and strategies are important, sure. But before the tactics and strategies is the belief, the perception, the expectation. That is going to change the game. And when you start emotionally charging your expectation like you already accomplished the goal before you got the goal, it sounds ridiculous. But that is the key to getting the goal. A matter of fact, my boy Nero, he said it's a prerequisite to getting the goal, right? It's a prerequisite to getting the goal. And this is like spiritual knowledge, has been taught for eons. As you so think, as you so believe, you will receive. As a man thinketh in his heart, emotionally expecting, as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall it be. The power of the words holds life and death. And those who use this power wisely enjoy the fruit thereof. Right? These are all like biblical quotes and have been reiterated so many different ways in so many different holy texts by so many different prophets and sages and people of power. They know this. Emerson said, a man is what he thinks about all day long. Because our thoughts are things. They're literally material things. I put them on the spiritual board because they are unseen, and spiritual is literally unseen. You can't see the spirit. And that's why there's a 3-stage process to getting everything in life. And first, we must be the person that will do the thing. We must believe that we can achieve what we are attempting to do, right? Believe and achieve. Be, do. Believe is the be, achieve is the do. Or behave in a way that we will be doing something. Like your behavior is a response to your belief. Your belief is the cause and the behavior is your effect. If you believe that life is a blessing, you're going to behave in a way like, hey, how you guys doing? This is great. Like, oh, what an amazing day. It's beautiful weather. Could be raining. Plants are going to get fed. This is great, right? If you believe that life is a burden, it's too hot out even though it's sunny. It's raining. It's too cold out. It's too much. Everything becomes too much when you believe that life is a burden. Then God is judging, despising God, and just life is horrible. It's so hard. It is so unto you as you believe. And when we believe and behave and act in a certain way, right? It's our being. That's what we will be doing. And then we will get what we sow. You get what you give. You reap what you sow. You plant an apple seed, you get apples. You plant an apple seed, you don't get oranges. And we forget this when we're starting our day or ending our night and like screaming at someone. It's gonna come back. That's what we call karma, right? But it's like we're all a reflection of ourselves. And you say, well, I'm nice all the time. Why do I see mean people? Because that's inside of you somewhere. Just because you're suppressing it doesn't mean it's not there. And if you judge that person negatively, then you're just like fighting and resisting that little part of you that's thinking or feeling in a way that they're actually acting. They might be in a way more sincere than we are because they're like letting it out. They're releasing and letting go of that emotional baggage. It was something that happened to them. Hurt people hurt people. When people are hurt, they start hurting other people because that's how they learn. And our subconscious is sticky. What do I mean by that, Keith? What do you mean by that, Keith? Subconsciousness is sticky because it holds on to your past experiences in life and your beliefs and other people's beliefs. If you're around a bunch of people that behave in a way that's violent and aggressive, it's only a matter of time before you become violent and aggressive. Unless you are changing them, they're going to change you. It's the law of influence, the principle of influence. That's why principles are so much more on a higher level than tactics and strategies. So if you only know tactics and strategies, I've taught this for a while, and that's why I thought I had the best tactic. I still think I got the best tactics and strategies for health and fitness, or fitness and nutrition. Eat in abundance and 10-minute movement patterns, even 1 minute, 6 minute, and this is proven by science. Yet that doesn't matter as much as the principles, and the principles don't matter as much as changing your perception, your beliefs, your expectation, because you are not going to do something if you don't become the person that will do the thing. And then you're never going to have the thing. You're never going to have the body that you want, the fitness level that you want. You're not going to have the health and the wealth and the relationships that you wish if you're not doing what it takes to get that. And you can't do what it takes unless you become the person that will do the thing. And it took me a long time to really understand this, because I'm just teaching tactics and strategies. And now I teach perception, belief, expectation, emotions, and tactics and strategies. First, we got to become the person that will do the thing, though. And then how to keep it, how to really have it, is to change the way that you do it. Do it in your own way, like a snowflake, because we all do things differently. And until you really teach it, you're never going to really learn it. You must know it at such a high level of mastery that you could do it like, and here's the good news, riding your bike, reading, writing, walking, talking. You learn the hardest things in life already. Fitness and nutrition are easy compared to that. They seem so hard because you've adapted, mainly your subconsciousness. Your subconscious is so sticky that it's held on to these beliefs that are not serving you anymore, that are not getting you closer to your goals. And once you let go, recognize them, release them, and then replace them, and then rejoice, things are going to change at such an exponential level that you're not going to recognize your life within a year. Yeah, I said a year. It might happen within a week or a month, but most likely it might be a year or years before the decades of that subconsciousness changes. And your subconscious, we like to say, be conscious, man. Yet 90% of the time we're living in our subconscious on autopilot. That's why you could drive somewhere and get there and just be like, oh, whoa, am I here? That's why you wake up at the same time with an alarm clock, and then the weekend comes or the summer comes and you're still waking up at that time, even though you planned on sleeping. You have this emotionally charged expectation that creates an experience, because experiences and situations don't create emotion and thoughts. Thoughts and emotion create the experience and the situations. That's the cause, remember? The effect is your situations and your environment. So a lot of people have this backwards. They say, if I had $1 million, I would help so many people and I would be so happy. Success does not bring happiness. You could ask some very successful people this. Happiness brings success. Once we foster happiness and joy and we start serving people at such a high level, then success is inevitable. Inevitable. I'm going to leave you on this. Be to have, if that's hard to understand, and watch this more than once, because true spiritual teachings need more than one. For most people, they need more than one time hearing it. We need to hear it in different ways from different people, and a lot of times repetition, right? Repetition is, they say, is the mother of learning. I say repetition is the key to wisdom, because it's very unlikely, like most people don't get on a bike and learn how to ride it the first time. You had training wheels, you had someone holding you, you had someone cheering you on. Remember the penguin principle when you're doing it, giving you that concentrated love and attention and affection so that you are rewarded for your effort, your energy, because effort is more important than the effect. The effort is like the journey, and the destination is like the effect. When we start really tapping into enjoying and expecting that the journey and the effort is going to be, is the payoff itself, that's when you start really getting to your goals. Goals squared. Because when you focus on something, That one I definitely spelled wrong, right? When you focus on something long enough, it creates a feeling. And that feeling becomes a frequency. That's how you function. You function at the level of your frequency. And whatever you focus on becomes the feeling. If you're focusing on like a car accident or something that is like a sickness or pain, you're going to feel more pain. And it's going to become your frequency. You're just always in pain. But if you focus on love and appreciation, there's so many studies on appreciation and gratitude. When you focus on it, it changes how you feel, and it changes your frequency, how you function. It literally changes your immune system, your blood pressure, all of your diastolics. It changes human growth hormone. Appreciation. Thank you for being here. You are amazing. Feel the feeling of your dream fulfilled. Feel the feeling of your goal fulfilled. That's a prerequisite. Why? Because how would you really know it's your goal if you don't know how it feels to be there? If you're just saying it, it's not really a sincere word, and you're just like, yeah, I want $1 million. Why? Why do you want $1 million? Ask yourself why 7 times. I want $1 million to take care of my family. Why? So they could be healthy and happy. Why? So they're secure. Why? Well, I'd feel like I'm a real father. I feel like I'm a real man, a real human. Why? Not asking yourself why, because we're all here to serve other people. I'm here to serve you. You're serving me by giving me your attention. It's an amazing thing in life. Most likely it's not really the money. It's the feeling that you're getting from the goal. And what is stopping you right now from feeling the feeling before you get the goal? What's stopping you? Nothing. You're stopping yourself. The only thing that's impossible is impossible. Everything is possible. We create everything. Everything around you was once thought to be impossible and then was created by a focus that created a feeling and then a frequency. And I said it in a different way also, right? I said it in the way that you have a belief. And that belief causes life to be a burden or a blessing. Life is such a blessing. And then that causes your behavior. You'll be able to do everything and anything once you really expect that to happen. If you emotionally charge a situation with the expectation of this isn't going to happen, or better yet, the car is going to crash. Would you really get in the car if you really had this emotional expectation that the car is going to crash or a plane's going to crash? People don't fly in planes because of an emotional expectation changes their experience. You wouldn't sit in a chair that you know it's going to break. Like, if you fully emotionally expect, aka know, that it's going to break, you won't sit in it. Because I got news for you. We don't know nothing. Right? It's been said before, the only thing I know is that I don't know. And knowing is the greatest roadblock. To know is the greatest roadblock to learning. The greatest roadblock to knowing something is thinking that you know it already. Mark Twain said, it's not what you don't know that gets you in trouble, it's what you think you know for sure that just ain't so. And you don't know what you don't know, and what you don't know can kill you, keep you sick, overweight, and tired all the time. And if you feel sick, overweight, and tired, and you're looking for a way out of this, I have an amazing video for you, and it's called The 9 Mistakes People Make That Keep Them Overweight, Sick, and Tired. And it's over at Dr. Keith J. Lopez. Dr. Keith J. Lopez.com. Check it out. I'll probably put it in the link below. And I wish you the best. You are absolutely amazing for hanging in here and going through this, because learning is sometimes painful. Like, we reject some information that's coming at us, because if you already knew it and were already doing it, and it like you didn't have any rejection in it, you didn't like it didn't have any like that can't be true, then you'd already be doing it. The reason why we have that like, oh, that can't possibly be true, is because we haven't done it, and what we're doing is not working enough. There's always something that will get us to the next level, because the difference of where we are, and I'm going to leave it with this, the difference of where we are and where we'd like to go is simply what we know. It's really information. And when we really get to it, like we could say it's not what we know, because we don't, everything is half true. Like nothing is, the only thing that's for sure is love, right? The only thing that's for sure is I, right? God. And information could be false. When we start using that information, though, to get us to our goals and serve other people, that is wisdom. We start serving other people to have more self-love and self-realization that God is inside all of us, dancing in our heart on an acre of diamonds, that we are the lighthouse. We don't need to look externally for the light. We are the light. The kingdom of God is within you. May you have the greatest day of your life. May you enjoy this moment, this miraculous, magical moment, like the precious present it is, the ultimate gift, the greatest gift. That's why it's called the present. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude.